Hello.
Now, your reputation does come before you, because I do know a lot about you, because you're doing the circuit quite often now. So tell us exactly the work that you do.
I help single black women find and attract the right man for them that they deserve in their life. And it's as simple as that.
Now, she said getting closer to him. How on earth do you do that?
There's lots of reasons, there's lots of ways, but first of all, I start with the woman and find out exactly what she wants. Whereas, first, a lot of women I tend to find that come to me don't actually know what type of man they want. So I establish what exactly that she wants, and we work out a simple plan and how we get there. So I went to a boarding school. I was always getting in trouble at, I went to a Church of England school, and I had three fights in a year. I was very mouthy as well, as you most probably could gather. And I had a few fights, and I was on the verge of getting expelled. And it was at the time when ILEA, who remembers Inner London Education Authority, they sent somebody from, I think, social services to see my mum, and they said to her basically, look, we'd recommend that you send Des to a boarding school because we can see that he's going to be going off the rails. At 13, I was getting expelled from school. There was only one way from there. And it was the same school as Frank Bruno, believe it or not, went to. Even though Frank's a lot older than me, but he was from Wandsworth, and he went to a school as well. Now, that school changed my life. If you had a problem with another boy in the school, they would put you in the gym, put a pair of gloves on you, and then you beat the crap out of each other, and then it's done. That's how it was. And I was very good at athletics, table tennis. I was ranked one of the top juniors for table tennis when I was 14, Uckfield and District. It was based in East Sussex, the school. And I was very good at table tennis. And those of you that have children, if there's anything that they're really good at, I really strongly recommend that you push them for that. Because by me being very good at table tennis, that enabled me to apply that same confidence in other areas of my life. Does that make sense? So there was no fear. I believed I could achieve anything I wanted to do. And if I tried something and it didn't work, what do? Try again, regardless of who's trying to put you off. So I was at the boarding school, and what happened was the year that I was in, they decided to put me up a year above because I was exceeding the level in my year. So what happened when it was the last year, they couldn't drop me down, so they had to get permission to send me to college a year early. So I went to college. I think I was 15. I went to college, and I was with all these adults in college because I'm used to boys my age, but all these these grown people, sometimes old enough to be my parent. So I was in college, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. How many of you knew what you wanted to do at 13? How many of you don't even know what you want to do now? And I didn't know what I wanted to do. So my first job, I thought, let me went to college, and I did just a basic admin skills course, business and finance schools, diploma back then. And my first job was was admin assistant for the Ministry of Defence, and I completely hated it. Ministry of Defence, working with 20 boring squadron leaders, as you can imagine what that was like. I hated it. So I was there for a year, and then I went to work for Chevron. Who's heard of Chevron, American oil company? And I was a mail clerk in it. I was the guy that pulling the trolley around morning and dropping the mail into your mailbox. And I was the lowest paid person in my department. It was about a team of about 10 of us. And I always said I want to be really successful because it could have demotivated me or it could have motivated me. And I decided when I was there that it's going to motivate me. And at the time, Chevron were making redundancies. And at the time, I was studying to be a driving instructor because what used to happen every Saturday, I used to go every Saturday to visit my grandmother with my sister, and we'd go and look after her every Saturday. But my sister had very low confidence in driving, even though she passed her test. How many people can relate to that? You passed your test, just me, one person. Thanks for being honest. And we used to go. So she used to say to me, "You're really patient," because she used to drive, but I used to give her tips on driving because I had a longer license than her. Then what happened was when we were making redundancies, she said to me, "Why don't you become a driving instructor?" I thought, "Oh, geez." And she goes, "Are you really patient?" So anyway, Chevron had a career consultancy company called KPMG. Who's heard of KPMG? Right, and KPMG were giving us, everybody in the company, £2,000 to do any course that you want, just to look after us for basically getting rid of us, I suppose. And at the time, what was I studying? To be a driving instructor. So I went into BSM, set up done the qualifications, qualified as a driving instructor, and set up Des O'Connor's driving school in London. So I had about 10 instructors working for me with all DesO'Connors.com driving school cars all over the place. And then from then, I had a lot of TV exposure. I was on Comic Relief, 2003. Who remembers the Comic Relief driving school program with Jade Goody years ago and Gareth Gates? Well, my driving school was teaching Gareth Gates. I nearly could have personally taught Jade, but they wanted a motherly figure for Gareth Gates. So one of my instructors was doing that. I've been on Richard and Judy, confirming their surveys. Gone on there a few times, and I've been on. Was on a One show about 4 months ago, doing acting as an examiner a few times as well. So what happened? I was getting a reputation within the driving school industry as a driving school celebrity, so to speak. But I knew there was a lot more that I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, we're going to start straight from there because Des, your energy is brilliant. It's amazing. And my name's Brett from the APCTC, and at the moment I'm backstage with Des O'Connor, not the Des O'Connor, but another incredible Des O'Connor that's making waves of transformation in his local community and on stage to about a group of 100 people. So Des, first of all, can you just tell us a quick bit about yourself and what you're doing?
I'm, as you know, won the Relationship Coach of the Year for the ACPTC this year actually, and I'm here I shared my journey, my story, where I've come from, where I am now, and to set up my academy of relationship coaches and my I Can Find You the Right Man course for single women to help them find and attract the right man in their life.
Brilliant, mate. So, and you say you do a lot of community work with young black kids as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
so what's that about as well?
I do. I've set up events helping black children, mainly the boys, on how they can improve their life, raising their self-awareness, raising their self-esteem, and also enabling them to believe in themselves. And I really believe if a lot of young black boys out there are not really believing in themselves, they have low self-worth. So I've been running seminars and workshops over the last few years and connecting them with other people that are in business to get them some work experience. For example, there's a young boy of 8, and I've installed in him that when he grows up, he wants to set up his own importing and exporting car company at the age of 8. And every time I see him, that's what he does. And every time I mentor him, I say to him, "What did you do today? What did you do today? What are you going to do?" And he goes, "I went to a car showroom. I went to a car showroom in the summer holidays. What we do is we're going to get him to send a letter to all the car showrooms in his area for work experience in the 6 holidays." So can you imagine 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he'd be leaving school by 14.
Mate, it's amazing. So you're starting when they're really young and kind of installing those positive beliefs instead of all the limiting beliefs like most young kids have out there.
Right, yeah.
But your speech today was about love, about connection. It was pretty deep, I must admit. I heard it was really, really deep, and sadly I missed some of it. But so you coach women to find men, or do you to find the right man? Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, how that came about. I came out of a very painful divorce, and I did Dan Bradbury's life coaching course, and I was getting counselling at the same time. To deal with the bereavement of my mum, the death of my mum. So I overcame the painful divorce, and then I started to work with single women on raising their self-esteem and getting more confident, and showing them simple steps on how they can find and attract the right man. I've been holding webinars, seminars. My book launch is next year, September, and I'm touring America next year. And like I said out there on stage, I said to the women, get somebody that can help you get rid of all the past and work with you to be more positive and have a goal-focused life, and surround yourself in the environment with like-minded men that want to date you. Simple as that.
Yeah, totally. So what's the book called?
I Can Find You the Right Man.
Brilliant. Is it big for me, or is it just for ladies? Depends on what you want.
Yeah, that's right.
So for the people that sadly couldn't make this epic conference this weekend, shame on you. What would you say to them about the APCTC, about Dan Bradbury's coaching?
Absolutely fantastic. I've been following Dan now since I started the coaching. and you know, that has contributed so much to where I am now. I mean, he's younger than me, but he knows his stuff. You know, if you wanna learn about marketing and how you can take your business from where it is now to a different level, you know, I should be where I am a lot sooner than what I was, but it wasn't the right time for me. But you know, he's very, very, very bright, very, very bright. And Chris Black has organised this event, you know, linking up with like-minded people. We're going to connect. There's other people that we can connect that basically can just improve and empower people's lives, because this event has like-minded people. These are coaches and consultants, and they all provide a service to help people improve their life, whether it's their personal life or their business. So we only can prosper from here. We only can help ourselves develop from a next level. There's been no negativity apart from the young lady that made a comment when I was on stage. It's all about love.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Go to my website. But no, it was just fantastic. You know, it's the first day, and I'm excited and inspired and empowered, and the energy in the air. It's a nice crowd. There's been some seminars I've been to. The crowd's been a bit hostile because, you know, the British ain't really into this coaching. But I think what it is, because we're all coaches and consultants, the energy is raised, and we're on that level, which is absolutely fantastic.
Mate, amazing. Des, thank you so much. Basically, what you're saying, the APCTC has created a great community, great tribe,
join the membership,
connection.
It could be you on stage. You're going to learn, you're going to develop, and you know the membership's next to nothing. You must be spend that on a few drinks and a night. Just join, come on board, and network. Join the website, and just just join it. It's absolutely fantastic.
And last one, mate, what's your website so people can get in contact with you?
If you want to train to be a relationship coach, qualified relationship coach, is www.academyofrelationshipcoaching.com. If you're a single woman and you want to, I'll run a 12-week course where I guarantee to increase your chances by 80% to finding the right man. It's icanfindyoutheriightman.com. Or if you just want one-on-one coaching, I do Skype if you're in another country, email coaching, face-to-face. But I also can actually go with women to events where I know where there's single men that you want, and I guarantee that every man in the room, I'll make sure you connect with him.
Smashed it. I like that. That's a great business model. Des, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you very much.
So tell us 5 tips that women should never ever do on their first dates.
Never do on their first date?
Yes.
Never do. Okay. Tip number 1, I'd say do not speak about your ex-partner.
Okay. What's the second tip?
Second tip is be yourself and be honest. Okay? There's no point you telling him that you're, you know, for example, you're a big shot, independent, successful woman earning 6 figures a sum, and you're not, because the lies will come out, and especially you may. I mean, we all do it. We've all told little porkies on the mix.
Men do.
We all do it.
Men do, but women shouldn't do it. Yeah, men do. They even borrow cars and they come in
to impress the
suits
woman.
and big watch and be like, yes,
To
please
impress,
the woman.
because we want to impress the woman. And
I guess the women shouldn't do that at all.
no, just be yourself, because the truth will come out in the end.
Okay, so be yourself. That's very important. What's the tip number 3?
Tip number 3, I would say, is do not bring your issues on the table for the first date as well. If you haven't worked on yourself prior to that point, try and work on yourself, but try and make the event you're having with him as positive and as enjoyable as possible, and try not to come across as negative, rude, swear, and you know, those negative traits. You know, there's ways of portraying them as well, and try not to judge him on the first date as well, because you know we all do not tell the truth on the first date, so to speak. We all, you know, have to cover up certain situations, and you know, you may ask a woman when was the last time she had a date, and she may tell you 6 months ago, and it might have been last night, for argument's sake.
Same as men.
Same as men. Just about to say that. Same as men as well.
So don't open up too much.
That's right.
Okay, what's tip number 4?
Tip number 4 is look the part, but don't show too much, especially if it's hot. And what I mean by that is, if you wear a short skirt and showing your cleavage, that could be perceived as a bit too much for some men, especially if he's looking for, you know, a woman to settle down with and maybe get married, all those kind of things. That will be perceived as not a serious type of woman, but not too much, because he could be perceived as though you're
Something else.
something else.
Wow. Okay, very interesting. Now, tip number 5.
Tip number 5 is what I said originally, is have a screening process in place.
Very
It's so important. You need to
Very
have your plan in place. What do you want to find out about this guy? And align that with what you're looking for. So if you want to be married and settled down, have that question in place to ask him that indirectly.
Tip number 6.
Tip number 6 is to try not to judge him by what he's saying on the first date, okay? Because he may not be 100% telling you honestly what he wants you to hear. Maybe he just wants you to hear what you want to hear, okay? One more tip that I would say for the women when they go out there and they meet a man is give him compliments as well. Keep smiling, okay? It's very important. Give him compliments, keep smiling, and find out what he likes in life in general. You know what makes him tick. If he likes sport and he supports a football team, for argument's sake, then take note of that, because it may, you may see a key ring for £5 and you may want to buy it for him. Finding out about himself, ask him, the relationship with his mother, his sisters, the females around him that are important to him, and also listen to what he says about his mother. It's so important, very important. If he's very positive and loving and caring about his mother, he's more likely to be like that with yourself.
Wow. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name's Lucy Johnson and I want to tell you a little bit about my experience using Des O'Connor. He helped me really get my head straight around finding the right partner for me. I'm 29 years old and I'd had a string of fairly unsuccessful relationships and was feeling really disheartened about the dating scene, and I couldn't understand why I couldn't find the right guy for me. I literally had 2 sessions with Des and he helped me think a little bit differently about everything and really worked on my confidence, and I even had a game plan for how to find the right kind of guy. And 5 months later, I'm with a boyfriend who I'm very, very happy with. I have no doubt we're going to be together long term, and it's really, really changed my life around. So I have to say, this is like anything in life. Don't just expect that you're going to meet the right guy and it will just happen. Take action and actually get someone to help you get there, If you wanted to get fit, you'd hire a personal trainer. If you want to find the right guy, you've got to hire the right guy to get you there, and that's Des O'Connor. So my recommendation is just go for it. Use his services and you won't regret it.
Okay, what did we get from today? So we thought today was insightful. Yeah.
Very knowledgeable to understand, I suppose, where we can be as developing in the future when we go into a long, successful relationship with somebody. We're still quite young, so it's quite nice to understand things now. And I think it's also interesting to understand the other women's views that we have met here today, because it's all quite similar. So obviously, some of them are slightly older than us, so it's obviously good to understand their views and what we can then improve on now that we're still quite growing and we're quite young.
Yeah, and I found the panel really interesting because it's good to hear the man's point of view.
Yes.
And
to understand.
Yeah, where they're coming from and how we can improve on things and, be better partners now. And long term, so not as a short term thing, but a long term thing. So yeah, it's good.
Would you recommend any friends?
I would recommend ideally more male friends to perhaps come along to sessions like this. So as much as I'm coming to develop myself, it'd be quite nice to see them come along to understand what women think, because obviously we understand already the totally different mindsets and the way we perceive things. So it'd be useful for them to come along as well and then have kind of in sync kind of networking or building together. So that'd be.
So they can see the other coin.
Yeah, outside the coin.
As well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you have good fun?
Yes.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Hello, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful event. I had a fantastic time. It's very inspiring. It's given me lots of food for thought. It's a brilliant event.
Coming to the dating training today was really great, just to spend a day learning about something that you wouldn't normally learn about. It was really good to be in a room full of women and to figure out what you can do better, what you can stop doing that's holding you back, maybe kind of come up with a few ideas for how you can get more dates, go out and basically have more fun with your life.
Today's event was really good, very informative. It was fun. It didn't really feel like a workshop. It kind of felt like a gathering of friends, which was really good. Des is great. I love his coaching style. I'll definitely be back for another event. Yeah, really great. I recommend, this event to all my single friends. Really good.
Hi, I'm Michelle Goodridge. I've turned up here today on the workshop. Absolutely fabulous day. Met loads of like-minded women who are in exactly the same situation as I am. Got a real insight into guys. The host, Des, and the lady that was with him, wonderful people, and you've got to come along. My friends are going to be so gutted if they missed it.
It was a really interesting day. It was very positive. I didn't really have any expectations for today, but I've actually picked up lots of tips and ideas of how I can increase my chances of meeting the right man. I really enjoyed it, and it was great to meet other women who are in the same boat as me, and I realised that actually it's a very natural thing. So I really recommend the day. It was brilliant.
I came to the workshop today not really knowing what to expect, but I found Des to be very approachable. He gave lots of scenarios of different occasions where you could be more appealing to the opposite sex, and it was good to get a male perspective as well, so would highly recommend it to my friends.
Hi, I came to the workshop today not knowing quite what to expect. I was up at 4:30 a.m. and I have to say it was worth it. It was fun, interactive, got to see a lot of aspects of what we as women can do to improve relationships and how to meet a good guy. I also learned there's a few things of where I'm already going right, so it's good to know that I had that validated and confirmed. If you're coming to Des's workshop, I'd say definitely come along, take part. It's educational, you'll learn stuff, and it's a good stepping stone as to where to start if you really want to find that relationship or attract that right partner.
So today was absolutely rewarding. I know that people's lives were touched, and Des, fabulous, true professional, really warm, really encouraging, and really brilliant at what he does, a true expert. My most powerful moment was when we had to do an exercise where we had to write a letter to someone very special. I came with one of my close friends and also my sister, and we had to pick anybody that we wanted to write to. They both wrote a letter to me. How amazing and absolutely humbled me to see that they had really appreciated the input that I had made in their lives. And so for me, it made me know that I had so much to give, so much love to spread, and so much potential within me, and that is just such a great thing to connect with. And so this event has encouraged me and inspired me to definitely go forth and fulfill my dreams.
One thing is communication. You must be able to feel that you can communicate with your partner about anything. Don't feel that the minute you feel that you can't talk to them, they should be your best friend as well as your partner there as well. And communication is the key. And also respecting their opinions as well. One of the things that I had a problem with before I started to work on myself was that I used to find if my ex-wife disagreed with me, I'd really take it personally. And that's because I just was maybe ignorant of that then, and I was set in my ways. But anybody disagrees with me after that, I just look at it that it's just, you've seen black and I've seen white, it's difference of opinion. And I think that sometimes people are coming from a different place where they may look at a situation where it's that way, and you may think it's the opposite, but you don't know where they're coming from to get to that place. And sometimes we can think about that as well. And a lot of the times when you've got things going on within the relationship and you're having an argument, it's never usually the thing you're arguing about.
if you really broke it down, if you looked at other areas of your life, how's work, how's your finances, you know, how do you feel yourself, etc. And you tend to find that contributes towards that, and that little thing at the end, at the tip of the iceberg, will actually set you off there as well.
Now, Des, here's an obvious question. If you live in a big city like London, there's so much to do, so much to see, so many people to meet, but yet it's still so hard to actually meet anyone, let alone date.
Well, first of all, are you ready for a relationship, first of all? Are you going out 100% looking for a guy? Because obviously, as you know, when you go out looking, you don't really find what you're looking for. And look at all the other areas of your life, start working on those other areas of your life as well. But when you go out, you're socialising, there's nothing wrong with seeing a guy that you like and smile at him. But a lot of women, you know, when they see a guy they like, you know, they get anxious, they get scared, they get fearful, you know, why is he looking at me? And you know, that internal dialogue they start working on that, and it talks them out of it. And I don't think a women realise that the message they send out to the guy that they really like. So, you know, she may be thinking, oh, I want him to like me, but the message she's sending him is, don't come over to me.
Are we doing something wrong? Do we need to change something?
I wouldn't say that she's doing things wrong. I say there's things that she could do differently to increase her chances. That's what I work with my clients. For example, smile, say good morning. I have clients now that in the morning they're on their way to work. There's a rule that we have. Every guy that you see that you like, smile and say good morning to him. I also say to clients, if you're going into a setting like, for example, a wine bar, stay as close to the bar as you can, because the men always come into the bar. And they're more likely to say hello to you at the bar. But women sit on the opposite, furthest away from the bar, furthest away from the men's toilets as well, because, you know, the men are going to be going to the toilets all the time. But what women do is they sit as furthest away from where the men are. There's usually a table in front of them, in their group of their girlfriends, so there's a barrier there, and if the guy's very shy, he's not really going to come over.
Okay, the obvious question here is, where do we find these good men who are supposedly out there, but we're not, you know, where do we find them?
They're everywhere. They are every single where. Shopping, on public transport, on the street, wine bars, pubs, they're all over the place. Parties, functions, weddings, galleries, libraries, they are all over the place. And women know they're all over the place as well.
What tips can you give women who are looking for that someone special?
Number one tip would be is actually finding out exactly what they want first of all, working on themselves and finding out exactly what they want. For example, if she wants a man that is a businessman, where would she want to go to find that man? Where would she go to find that businessman? The last workshop I ran, not a lot of women were aware of business networking events, where it's, you know, there's loads of business-minded men there. But some women tend to go to different places like clubs, wine bars and those kind of places where you're more likely not to find a lot of businessmen that are going to be there. The tip number two, I'd say, would be to start working on yourself, being honest with yourself and working on yourself. Do you have any issues? You know, the last workshop I ran, I asked everybody in the room, do you all have issues? And they all said yes. So obviously you're identifying that you do have stuff. We all have stuff. How much of that stuff are you carrying on to your next relationship? And how much of that are you honestly saying contributed towards your last relationship? Find out who you are, you know, where does that come from? And are you working on yourself for that? And the third tip is look at your friends around you, especially your girlfriends around you. A lot of women tend to speak to women about men, and women don't really understand men. The best people to speak to about men is men. Simple as that. And I tend to find a lot of women are speaking to single women who are not experts on relationships, not experts on dating, but they're allowing them to influence their decisions.
So, I've had some training in the art of flirting and been to a seminar for some dating coaching. So now I'm wondering, what can I do on a regular basis to get myself noticed on a normal night out?
If you're going out with your girlfriends and you're going out there and you really want to attract a man when you go out, what I would say to do is quite a few things. One, I would position yourself all the time at the night that the men can see you where you are. Now, a lot of women, they go out, they pick a table in a corner, there's a barrier, and they're expecting the man to climb over that table to get to them. It's not going to happen, especially if he's shy. Places that you can be is by the bar. Men always come to the bar to buy a drink. And funny enough, if you've got the nearest bar nearest the nearest men's toilets,
you're constantly going to be on show to all the men that are going in and out, going to the toilet and going to the bar at the same time. If you have a plan, then you're ahead of the plan of all the other women. So the women that want to sit in the corner and then going home and feeling, oh, no one's spoken to me tonight. But if you're at the bar, and it's easier at the bar because you're closer, sipping's more intimate, and all you need to do is get the eye contact with the guy, and he more than likely says hi. If he doesn't say hi, just smile, and you may have to say hi if he's very shy. And that strikes the conversation going, and he's more likely to speak to you again from there. If you like the guy that you like, if you see a guy that you like, get as close to him as you can within the environment of not making it blatantly obvious, and get the eye contact going instead of having your back to him or be 15 metres away from him and then expecting him to know that you like him. If you're going to be going out with your girlfriends, do not go out in large groups. As a lot of you always do, you go out in large groups, and sometimes some of you wonder, why hasn't anybody spoken to me? Go out with 1 or 2 girlfriends, most probably 1. If you go into the bar, go by yourself, because you're more likely to be approached if you're by yourself. If you're going to be going to the toilet, go by yourself, because he could be watching you going to the toilet and you think, oh yeah, I'm going to grab her when she comes out. Okay?
So what do single women do on Valentine's?
Well, they try and do things that will obviously take their mind off the focus of that.
But they can't avoid it, can they?
Well, there's lots of things that they can do. They can, I know there's some women that actually stay at home, watch some films, chill, glass of wine, and just switch off any form of communication to the outside world where they wouldn't have to be seeing that. And to that might be the best thing to do, because it's only one day, and a lot of people are single people that cannot find somebody are dreading actually build up to that as well.
Is it the same with single men? Are they in fear of Valentine's in the way that you described for single women?
No, I think it's more a woman or female thing. I think a lot of men.
Really? Why is that?
Well, because it's more emotionally attached to that, with the females, with the roses and the flowers and all those kind of things. I think women are more in tune with their feelings more than men, because it's all linked with the feelings, and also women. You don't get blokes being sent flowers at work as much as sort of women, for argument's sake.
Well, why not is the question. Why on earth not?
Well, because if a man's going to be feeling that he's going to be sent flowers, it's the ego thing as well. He's going to be perceived as weak, and it's not really. I mean, do you know any men personally that have had flowers sent to them at work? Have you had flowers sent to you at work?
I have sent them, but I've never received any. You're right.
Actually, I had an ex-girlfriend once. She actually brought some flowers to my workplace at reception, but. At the time, I was working in a mailroom in an American oil company with about 10 blokes, and I got a lot of grief for that.
Okay. What, did they think it was from your boyfriend rather than your girlfriend?
No, the good thing about it, they actually knew my girlfriend, but I got a lot of stick for that.
Why?
Yeah, because it's not a manly thing in their eyes. A manly thing. I mean, I was fine about it. Believe me, I was fine about it. But us men, we do get a lot of pressure, from that, Especially, I know you play football. I mean, you couldn't walk into the change room with a bunch of flowers on your wife, could you really? So maybe that's answering the question.
You have to draw your line at that, to be honest.